Hey guys, welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm your host, Primetime Phil. Today we're going to discuss don't call me Sam D. Williams. And I'm not really sure how long that's going to stick, but he's our second round draft pick for the 2022 NFL Draft for the Dallas Cowboys out of Ole Miss. A guy that brings a leadership within his quality in college, but whether he brings that in this locker room, there's a lot of guys filling that role. So will he kind of be back there, not showing the leadership? I think he'll be vocal and I think he'll be out there, but I don't think he's quite that point yet. But it's only training camp. You don't know what this guy is going to kind of bring. So the other thing that he brings, the positive, the speed, something you cannot teach. And something that Dan Quinn loves, because when you look at the qualities that he brought, the cons, everybody has pros and cons. Well, there's a reason why he was drafted as far as he was. And honestly, he was predicted to go in the third or fourth round, which a lot of guys thought he would go. So are we surprised that he was a Dallas Cowboy? No, he was one of the 30 visits. So to hear him and Jerry do their thing, it wasn't really surprising at all.
I met Mr. Jones at the All-American campaign. He was a pretty nice guy. He talked to me a lot. He kind of said he needed a Michael Parsons, another one of them. So, I'm just hope for the best. I'd love to be a Cowboy.
So why did Dan Quinn love him? When you look at his sacks that were very comparable to other top guys like Aiden Hutchinson, I'm not saying that the quality is, and that's exactly who he is. No, what I'm saying is that, when the level of competition was pretty high, and obviously he wasn't going against all those guys that Aiden Hutchinson was, but when you look at the way that he was able to produce, that is the level that you want to bring. It doesn't matter what kind of role that you're bringing within these defenses, is are you doing your job? And Dan Quinn has jobs, and are you taking up blocks so other guys can do their? That's the thing, can you do? So I think he was doing his thing within his defense. So was he putting up the numbers? Hell yeah. And that's exciting, because when you look at his film, it was mostly all speed. He was getting around guys really, really fast. And he was getting under guys. He was faking with that because he was doing it before. He would fake and then he would go underneath. And so he was bringing those. He wasn't doing it with his hands. He wasn't going in and then kind of swimming up. He wasn't pushing your arms down, and he wasn't spinning around too much. So can Dan Quinn teach that? Hell yeah, Dan Quinn could teach him. Dan Quinn could teach him to be a safety if he wanted to. And within this defense, you don't know where Sam Williams is going to line up. So where is, a lot of people could say, hey, is he going to be in the linebacker position? Heck yeah, he's going to be in the linebacker position. He's going to be like a Von Miller type guy, where when you're in there and you see Von Miller, Von Miller is coming for your quarterback. So even if he's at the linebacker position, he's just swinging out a little bit wider so he can get a better shot at your quarterback and maybe have to go one-on-one with your running back. So they're all there. And I know when you put him on the one side, you can strategize, but when you got other guys against this all defensive line, those are big young pieces that each one brings a little value to. And Sam Williams definitely brings a nice quality of speed that this defense definitely is nice that it needs. You have, of course, guys that are strong, and you got guys that can hold people. And I think that's right there is going to be Sam Williams' weakness. Can he be in that defensive outside all the time? Well, no, because you're going to have to rely on the running game as well. And I think the lack of strength in that first year, now I say the first year because, of course, once he eats the peanut butter and he can get a little bigger and he can hold those edges and those tackles, they're not pushing on him. Of course, he can help with the running game more, and he's not just go in there and get the quarterback. So when you see other guys come in like Dante Fowler and Doris Armstrong, these are all key guys that can help give rest. And that's the reason why Sam Williams comes in automatically as a role player. It's whether he's going to get to that star player within that first year. So I know within that second year, when he puts on more strength, that's when he's going to be able to help our running game. So don't judge him too much on that first year about stopping the running game all the time. But, should he be able to, wrap the running back up when he has the chance? I think so. And there's nothing on his college film that says that he's just going to get juked out everywhere. When you look at the qualities that he has, a lot of it is little small things like Micah Parsons there. He has some speed, and what Micah just beats people with is speed a lot of times, but Micah has that strength as well. So when you look at these guys, Micah's up here, and of course, Sam Williams down here, and I'm not saying, there's a thing, but when you look at the view of them as well too, there's a lot of similarities. And if you could strategize to put the same number on people, I would honestly make it a strategy to try to put Sam Williams in a Micah Parsons jersey, and then just make offenses try to figure out who is the real Micah. So nice little distraction, But obviously you can't, everybody can't wear the same number and stuff. So it would just be a funny little factor, and at least something that Dan Quinn could definitely key on. But when you look at the other things that Dan Quinn can do, I mean, he can put this guy in maybe even the center linebacker position and kind of just have him going downhill. So with the shortage of what the linebackers room is looking at, of course you're going to get Sam Williams in that linebacker position. What is he going to be able to do out there? I don't think he's going to be just covering tight ends and stuff. And so when you see him, of course, that Von Miller role is a very big thing within Sam Williams' role. So what other things will he be able to do? I'm just excited to see where he transitions from his college tape just to even the training camp, because Dan Quinn is in his ear. He's right there, and he was right there at his pro day. So there's so many things that are just kind of averaging up, kind of, adding up to really be hopefully a star player. But again, this is a very big thing that we're saying with a lot of these draftees this year is potential. They have potential to be stars. Now, not everybody can be stars, but you saw how the 90s were. Those guys were being drafted, and those guys were stars. So yes, it mattered that they had first round draft picks, but when you look at what Will McClay has done, I mean, he has gotten talent in here. And so I'm excited to see what Sam Williams does going forward. So be excited as a Cowboy fan of what further on we got, because we got Jalen Tolbert and we got Jake Ferguson coming up in the next couple of videos. And in those, I really honestly want to get more into some more interviews with some other YouTubers and other guys that I do some YouTube stuff with, and get some opinions other than mine within this show. So like always, I'm Primetime Phil. I appreciate all the support. Leave a comment on what you think Sam Williams' future is going to be. Is a guy like Stephen Jones going to mess up his re-signing? Are we just prepping him up for the next guy? So what do you think Sam Williams' future is going to be? Hit that like button on the way out. Thank you for subscribing, but don't forget to always ring that bell.